Okay, all right. So this is about the cage shapes, right? So you got, so we'll start with C because I know that's what I was showing you last time, right? So we got our C major chord, right? So cage, right, is the different shapes: the C shape, the A shape, the G shape, the E shape, and the D shape. Or I'm sorry, the D shape and the E shape. Caged, C-A-G-E-D. But so we'll start with one chord, like C is the best one to start with, right? So now off of this first chord, it's a C major chord, right? So this is also the way what the your minor pentatonic, so like the relative minor in this case is A. Like on your chord wheel, it'll be that box, that sixth box. If you put the key on C, so the C is in the middle, A will be the natural minor, right? So it'll be like a pentatonic like this, though. Right? So that's a C shape, and that's where the pentatonic scale is inside it, right? So you could also just start here, and use it, go down, it's starting and ending on C, and it'd be a major pentatonic scale. Even though it's different than the classic, that kind of shape. But so you got your C there, right? And the A minor's underneath it because that's C's natural minor, right? Is A minor. So, and then the next one, right, is the A shape, right? And we call it the A shape because it's like an A here, except slid up to here. And even if I just hit that D, G, and B string, I'm playing C major, right? But we usually put our finger here like a power chord, and you can, root that C and still get all those chords, all the notes in there. So you got the root, the fifth, the root again, and then the major third, right? And now this shape, this is the A shape, is attached to the G shape, right? So where this finger is, this is where the open chords would be on the G, right? So now if we're looking at a G, we go to C on the low E string, right? C, B, G. This one's a pain to play, but you don't have to play this whole chord thing. It's just good to know where it is in order, because then you can arpeggiate with it and, use it in your soloing to make it sound more melodic instead of just shredding the scales. So like, for example, if we got something in the background in C major, let's just go. Actually, you know what? Let's slide it up to, let's do a D-shaped C, right? So that would be right here, right? So if I go, I put on the looper, right? And now you can you see how that kind of works there? And you can probably see where the position box 1, where that G shape is, starting on the 8th fret. This where your A minor, say pentatonic is here. Or, you call it your C major pentatonic. But either way, that's where that's connected to. So say if you were soloing here in A minor and the song went to a C chord, which could happen a lot. right? So that's just one way, you know, of how useful this can be, looking at it like that, right? Because it's just basically mapping stuff out. So you got your C chord, right? The C, then you got the A version of a C, then you got the G version of a C, you know, which is a finger bender. You don't really gotta, you know, play it like that. Nobody plays the whole thing, you know. It's like kind of impossible to, but you can with a capo. But then you got the D shape, right? So that would be just going off of where the C, say where your regular C E shape is. Or, I'm sorry, after the G we got the E shape, right? Which would be your regular bar chord. And that's also where this triad comes in, you see in a row. And this E shape, what's underneath here is your regular major pentatonic. Hope you can see that, right? Right, see I'm going. So, and that's what your E major shape is. Well, that's what's under it, that pentatonic scale, that major one. And then from there, from the octave of it, that's where the D version of the C shape will be. You see how nice, that's how you get really good at playing major solos too, is having this knowledge, because then you can do that stuff like that. All right, so yeah, so there's a D1. Right, and then that's all of them up and down the neck. That's what you want to, now to practice this, that's what you want to practice, right? All right, see here, the A version, the G version, you know, the E version, and then the D version, right? And then do that, you know, for like every chord. So we just did C, then you're going to want to do, say D, right? And say D starts, the classic open D starts in the D position. So then after that, you're looking for the C position, right? So that would be like this. Because each one also partly connects to the other shape. Like the C is connected to the A and the A to the G and vice versa. And all front and back, right? So it's basically a C chord just slid up, but you got to switch your fingering so you can make your D shape with just these fingers here. Right? And then you got D there. Right? Root, third. I'm sorry, root, third, fifth, right? Root again. Third. Oh, missed that. Went to the wrong note there. But yeah, you see where that's, so that would be the C shape. I'm sorry, the C shape with the D chord, right? And then after C, you got A, right? Which is the D everybody kind of knows right here. And that's what, like, in Eruption, like, or not Eruption, sorry, Running with the Devil, like Van Halen does, right? He's using those triads, this chord, right? He's going. That's all cage right there. So if we were to look at it and add the roots to it, right? It's basically like a power chord. He's going. Then this, that's a C shape he's hammering on. It's just part of it. So all together with the root, it would be like this. And then he goes up to the next thing, to A major. and then hits it off over to an E major. So it's like, so it's C, D, right? Then he's going D, G, A, E, right? So C, D, right? And that's why it sounds so like a little majory, the intro, like that, because the way he's using the chords, he's playing all major triads, right? He's playing, he's playing this part of the C, the A part, of the C, and the D. Because you don't, you don't have to always use like, all right, C, and now you can do all these different C's or whatever. You want to mix them with other chords, right? So like a classic 1-4-5, right? So say if we're keeping it easy in C, right? And you got your E shape for your 1 chord, and then if you go down to your 4 chord, now you can go if you go down to your 4 chord, then you go. Now to go up to this, instead of doing the A shape again, you can do the C shape. But you don't even have to put your pinky there where mine is. You can just do this right here, which is 9, 7, 8, right? So it'd be like. Move it so you can see a little better, right? So you got. All right, so I hope that kind of helps somewhat. So, and let me know if knowing the scales underneath those shapes is helpful at all. So, just to recap with that, right? So if we got this shape, right, that's the regular A position pentatonic when you're going like this. Right? And that's what this is down here. And then say for the A shape, then that would be the next one in the pentatonic shapes, right? So it'd be, and then you'd have the classic, right? And then, right, you can see where I'm going with that. That's why the pentatonic shapes are, you want to learn the 1 through 5 shapes as well, because that goes really well with this cage stuff. It fits right over it, and then you can really use it in your soloing. Right, and you see there, you can arpeggiate it. And that's just all in C major. So I hope that helps somewhat. And then, just hit me up and let me know, or message me in the comments, anybody watching, that if you want more clarification on a specific part of this, or how else to use it and stuff like that, let me know. So Big City Nights by the Scorpions was a great one to show, because you got the... right there. That's a G-shaped D. Or Queen, right? All right, that's, he's hammering on part of that C shape. He's just not putting the pinky here for that. He's just like that. Let's Ain't With Nothing But a Good Time by Poison. So hopefully that helps out.